All Hallows Eve, the evening all your nightmares come to life. All the creatures of the night come out to play. It's time to pay tribute to this terrifying month. So join us as we celebrate a sinister season. This is the Venom month of horrors. The reboot.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a truly iconic series in the late 1990s and early 2000s, catapulting the careers of two people. It was huge. Developing teen storylines but combining them with horror movie metaphors, spending 7 years, or 8 if you count the spin-off, or more if you count the comic books. Nobody should count the comic books. Developing the lore of a young girl, or 2, or 3, or millions, destined to save the world against vampires, demons, and the evils in the world. It was iconic and gave nerds everywhere a place to call home, or as we call it, Sunnydale.
That was excellent.
Created by the new Voldemort, Joss Whedon, the show became a cult phenomenon. But years earlier, it truly began its roots, when Joss originally attempted to get this franchise off the ground with a 1992 movie of the same name. Now hello?
Oh, hi! What's up?
I'm watching the Buffy movie.
Oh, God. Why?
That bad, huh?
Just stick with the show. The movie just didn't quite get what Joss wanted to do with the character. He got the idea by watching the countless horror movies where generic dumb blondes get cornered by the killer and murdered, and he thought, wouldn't it be interesting if this happened other way around?
Ironically, years later, Joss would corner a bleached blonde and have a go at him for being too good.
He got talked into one sexy vampire that's not going to be killed off. That was Angel. And I was supposed to come in and get killed off. And the audience immediately reacted to me in a way that made it, was going to make it very difficult to kill me off. And the network was telling them, oh my God, keep this guy on the show and all of that. And he's like, I was basically ruining his show.
Or a brunette for being pregnant.
He wrote up a screenplay for this idea, but made the mistake of selling it to Sand Dollar Productions, and that was when his issues began. He now lost control of his own creation.
The studio worked together with 20th Century Fox, who didn't actually like the script. Joss wanted the film to be somewhat dark, elements we would see in the later TV series, but the studio wanted it more lighthearted.
But weirdly, at the same time, Joss combined dark, gritty horror with his trademark humour, and they also removed some of those jokes as well.
While in the TV series, Buffy's Watcher, who was played by Anthony Head here, he is called Merrick and is played by Donald Sutherland, and Joss absolutely hated working with him.
While admitting that Sutherland is a damn fine actor, he had a tendency to improvise or completely rewrite his own lines. And since he was the biggest name in the film, the studio let him. So the final movie you guys saw was pretty much the complete opposite of what Joss Whedon originally wanted. We'll go over the differences with time, but Whedon himself refuses to consider the movie canon, and he hated how it came out. He stormed off set one day and never returned. He felt like they completely ruined his vision and had no idea what he was trying to create. This credit should honestly say, except not really.
The film got mixed reviews from critics, but it did make a decent profit, earning $16.6 million, despite only taking $7 million to make.
But look, dude, we have to be open-minded about this. The movie came out 5 years before the show. We can't just keep comparing the two. We have to be unbiased.
Agreed.
I mean, the opening monologue by Donald Sutherland is absolutely nothing compared to Anthony Head's.
Since the dawn of man, the vampires have walked among us. killing, feeding. The only one with the strength or skill to stop their heinous evil is the Slayer.
I don't even get it. Why are Christy Swanson and Donald Sutherland playing the original Slayer and Watcher in the flashback?
Just look at it. Is this Buffy or Monty Python? It looks ridiculous. Now that I think about it, if John Cleese played Merrick, and if there was a sound effect of a fart noise or something...
Let Satan tremble. The Slayer.
I'd forgive it. And the opening credits last about 6 years, and the music sounds like something from a DVD menu for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the CDs from the 2000s. Now that's what I call music. Does this even remotely resemble a vampire movie? I feel like I'm about to watch one of those baboon-filled infestation movies with the loading presence of High School Musical type bastards that dance around and somehow have a bigger house than the Catholic Church, or one of those Hilary Duff films you see on Disney Channel at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Very specific.
The songs are so dated. It's dated like a bad curry. I'm not even saying that they should have played Slipknot or something, but at least something creepy to fit the theme. Not 90s pop.
And I'll get this out of the way very early on. Christy Swanson is absolutely terrible as Buffy.
And Donald Sutherland is absolutely awful as Merrick.
And not just because she supports this arsehole.
My birthright? Is that like a trust fund or something? Time to do what?
Does the word duh mean anything to you?
Excuse much, rude or anything?
Ruler, it's me. Remember me? Buffy.
Most of her performance makes it look like a school project. Nothing she says sounds genuine or real. You can almost see the cue cards.
I don't think she's terrible. I think she's fine. She's not bad, but trust me, she isn't great. She's like the cheese and onion crisps you get in Aldi, while Sarah Michelle Gellar is a full main course in a fancy hotel. I realise it's unfair to compare the two, as they both have completely different styles, but when they're supposed to be the same character, it's not entirely the movie's fault. It was 5 years before the show. Swanson is quirky and fun, and her performance isn't going to take my interest out of the film.
Oh, please, show me a real Slayer.
Step away from the glass.
Donald Sutherland, on the other hand, this is one of the biggest disappointments I have ever seen. He is such a wonderful actor, and I was so excited when I heard he was the Watcher in this, but my god! I kind of figured it's probably not a role he's prepared for, but he's awful. It's almost like someone just woke him up out of bed. Did he smoke a doobie before every scene? He is so bad. Look at him. Obviously, I don't exactly expect him to jump around like Jim Carrey or Nicolas Cage, but he is so boring, and it never gets better at all. At any point in the film, everything is the exact same tone and expression.
That was very impressive, the tumbling. It was a natural reaction on the part of a Slayer. Because it is your birthright and I am a part of it. Why did you never tell anyone about your dreams? Meet me at this address tomorrow after school.
What's wrong, Donald? Were you upset you didn't get to work with Clint Eastwood again? Were you mad he didn't cast you in Unforgiven that was playing across the hall in Screen 1?
I honestly don't mind Donald Sutherland's performance in this, except for how his character is written. He is so creepy. He stalks Buffy in a lift at the mall, he watches her doing gymnastics, he creeps around in the women's locker room, how she punches him and it sounds like he busts a nut.
I think it'll be easier for you to understand this birthright if I show it to you. All right? So you come with me now to the graveyard. None of the other girls ever gave me this much trouble.
And where are they now?
In my basement.
Ow!
Cramps?
None of your business, God.
Yeah, in the movie, some weird power that she has is that she actually gets menstrual cramps whenever she's in danger.
You had cramps?
Nice conversationalist. Yeah, I felt them a little. But I'm not due for another couple of weeks since you're so hot on the subject.
Of course you're not. It was a natural reaction on the part of a Slayer.
Aren't we glad they scrapped that power for the show? And what the hell are the light ages anyway? Stop trying to be clever and edgy. You're a Buffy movie without the abusive nerd we idolized for 30 years. Shut up and just tell us about Buffy. The humor is so bad. One of the defining moments of the show. One of the things that Joss Whedon sort of used to know how to do. And it is painful in this.
Excuse me for not knowing about El Salvador. Like I'm ever going to Spain anyway.
How do you not tread on the earth? I mean, you kind of have to, right?
But look, I'm a fair guy. I can credit the movie for the few times it genuinely did make me laugh.
You want me to go to the graveyard with you because I'm the chosen one and there are vampires?
Yes.
Come on, bite me a pike.
Wait a minute, man. What's wrong with you?
I'm fine.
There's a girl on the court!
Yeah, that's the issue, not a fucking obvious vampire. To be fair, that does look like it was deliberately funny. Paul Rubens plays a vampire, and I can't lie. His death,
which was completely improv by the actor,
is one of the funniest scenes I have ever witnessed. This is gold. This is a scene that has Joss's writing all over. And you know what? I wish it lasted longer. I don't care, just drag it out for a solid 10 minutes of him just dying. Have him burst into the gym during the final act, still dying. How they even show him after the credits, and he's still dying, but even that doesn't last long enough. We need a sequel, where Paul Rubens is just dying for 2 hours. I'm game. Honestly, he is amazing in this. I need to see more Pee Wee Herman in my Buffy movie.
Okay, whoever's behind me better be gone when I turn around. What are you, some kind of weirdo or something? Huh?
Hello! I know you are, but what am I?
I'd like to have a little informal chat with you, okay?
You can't just make up lies about people.
Paul really is one of the saving graces of this movie. I must admit, why isn't he in the entire movie? Why wasn't he the love interest? Probably had more chemistry. Oh, and Rutger Hauer casually playing the violin in the background makes it even funnier.
But then there's moments that aren't supposed to be funny, but they're fucking hilarious.
You stupid little bitch!
Buffy!
The flashbacks are so dated and so cheesy. I can't take any of them seriously. They messed up the script, sure, but even the production is off. They actually wanted David Bowie or Mick Jagger to play vampires in this, but couldn't afford them. Yeah, imagine how bad it would have looked if they did pay for them as well. But they did manage to get Seth Green. Look! There he is!
Don't forget Batman! There he is!
The fight scenes are so cringy and awkward to watch. They don't add any music, which can sometimes work to make it more realistic, but here it's just a clunky mess. Honestly, these actors just remind me of how annoying teen films were in the 90s and how we just didn't give a shit. And the cast go from underacting everything to random outbursts.
Whoa! Whoa! I'm sorry. I don't actually need any right now. Let's move out! Yes!
They even mess up basic editing. What the hell was that? I mean, David Arquette being electrocuted is always nice to see, so I'll give them credit for that. It does look pretty good. The effects are actually fine, but the cutting afterwards is just bizarre. What the hell are they doing in that editing room?
But I must admit, this is actually quite creative. It is really well thought out and a cool transition.
David Arquette and the late great Luke Perry play these two dudes before Arquette gets turned. But this must be the smallest town ever, considering how often they keep bumping into the girls randomly.
What's your name?
Buffy.
Yeah, figures.
The hell's that supposed to mean? I have to say, I actually think Arquette and Perry are both quite good in this. They're trying their best with what they've been given. They get drunk and it is quite entertaining to watch. Just let them do their thing and it's not bad. To their credit, Buffy does react a bit weirded out when she first meets Merrick Purving, but how is she not questioning why or how the exact man from her dreams is right in front of her?
I was a slave.
In Virginia.
I don't know.
And how the hell does he even know about her dreams to begin with?
I do find it weird that in a universe where vampires and demons are real, there's still so many people who have never even encountered one. The movie does actually add an interesting angle that the show never really explored. It's subtly hinted at that she has neglectful parents. In the show, her dad left for some other woman and we barely see him, but she was always really close with her mum. But here, her mother doesn't seem to care much about her. It is a nice touch as it makes the character even more alone and isolated as she's going through this huge revelation.
Honestly, it's not even funny how bad her mom is in this. The dad in the show wasn't as bad as this ungrateful cabbage.
And yeah, the best way to prove that she's the chosen one is to yeet a knife at her fucking head in the worst sped up footage you will ever see. And that's it. After that conversation, she is now fully convinced and starts training. That's all it took.
I actually really love the setting of the training. It kind of has a 1980s Kung Fu B-movie Flashdance feel, and I'm down with it. I do prefer it to the setting of the high school in the show. Something about it feels much more pure and cinematic, but that's where my praise ends. I like the way it was shot and it looks nice, but where the hell are they? Is this Merrick's house? How the hell did he pay for this place? Does he pay rent? Did he break in? Is it a family house? Does he have a bed? If he can afford Wayne Manor, why can he only afford to wear the same outfit every single day?
The thing is, the movie shows that Buffy has natural talent to kill spiders with a pin or to catch a knife, but yet she still gets her ass handed to her by an old man, who, by the way, throughout the whole film constantly tries to encourage her to keep skipping school to train. What a great role model.
He scares me.
Ah, George Lucas also helped write, I see. And it's not even cool when the vampires get staked. It looks shit.
Well, aren't we Kung Fu? I don't see you out there killing any vampires.
Slayer slays, a watcher...
Watches?
Yes, no.
I must admit. Okay, it's a little sad when they try to insert some character development. I mean, Buffy has been a stuck-up bitch thus far, and he's a nonce, and they try to bond. But this is the first and probably only scene where Christy Swanson and Donald Sutherland actually work well together. And it does seem like they genuinely are enjoying themselves and having fun. It is a nice little scene.
Yeah, I must admit, I do like this scene. It adds a little touch of heart, and it's quite cute. More moments like this would have been good if they cut out a lot of the Pike stuff and a lot of the other bollocks from earlier. It would have been fine. I think this scene is one of the most touching, and it genuinely does have some real levity.
I'm actually fully convinced that Luke Perry wasn't supposed to be in the movie. He just showed up and they let him stay because he was so good. Credit to them though. You suspect they'll go for the cliche of Perry being secretly a vampire and Buffy will have to off him, but no. Yeah, she only dates legendary vampires.
Yeah.
Like Spike.
What? What about Angel?
Oh, your Nancy boy hairstyle.
I mean, Angel has a bad Irish accent,
yeah,
will admit.
Spike fought for his soul. He went to the other side of the world. He fought for a soul. Don't bring up the rape stuff, man. Angel killed how many people? He killed Miss Calendar. He made her like hell, and then he went and started fucking Cordelia.
But I don't care. Anyway, he belonged with Buffy, Rob. He did belong with Buffy. He does.
Angel's a little bitch. But why is it that undead monsters always seem to be really good at basketball? But hey, here's a real-life line of dialogue that Joss Whedon had with some of his female cast members.
Hey, babe, you want to get some real power between your legs?
Wait, how does she know how to ride a motorcycle?
She's the Slayer.
Is that the same way she knew that Ben was Glory?
Wait, what?
You know, Ben is Glory.
Ben's with Glory?
No. Ben is Glory. They're the same person.
Is everyone here very stoned?
The love story is pretty bad. Buffy dates a douchebag for the entire film. He breaks up with her over the phone, and then look, she fell on top of Pike, so now they're in love.
And now, you're a coat rack.
I have seen this movie so many times, and I still don't understand that line. What the fuck does it mean? Merrick ends up dying, and even his death looks awkward. Buffy doesn't even attempt to stop it, and she even lets the vampires get away. Her and Pike just watch him die. Neither of them even attempt to call for an ambulance.
And why the hell did they even leave? Just kill her now. There's no reason to not attack. Just go. Kill her.
She's not ready.
Exactly. It's an easy meal. Eat her now. I don't get it. Maybe vampires like to wait around for a real opponent. Maybe it's the destiny of it all. I just love how he's like, yeah, we're leaving now. Bye! You're sad now. No fight. Maybe he wasn't in the mood.
Didn't the show do this?
Happens on Saturday.
I kill you.
Shut up!
In the original script, Whedon was actually going to have Merrick kill himself to avoid being turned by Christopher Walken's bitch here.
His name is Rutger Hauer, and he's brilliant.
But instead, he breaks the Watcher rule and actively tries to save his Slayer. I don't really like the suicide idea personally. And Buffy in no way reacts like she's watching a person die. Even the next day, she's absolutely fine.
Wait. How the hell did he even get there so fast anyway? Buffy chased the vampires out of the place and got a damn motorcycle. He was still in the school. Did he get a free bus pass? Was there a taxi outside? How much time passed? How did he know exactly where she was? I need to know.
Another issue is how painfully unlikable Buffy's friends are.
Oh my god, you're having an affair? Cool.
The show had so many likeable but real people. Here, they're just annoying ditzy assholes, and at this point, they're just waiting around to kill time before the finish.
One is played by Hilary Swank. The thing is, you can kind of tell it's Whedon's writing. It has Whedon written all over it. Honestly, it's weird to watch after finding out he walked off because they changed his script, but there are so many moments in the film that are similar to the show, but they're downplayed enough so the studio didn't fully take over everything. I'm so confused. This scene is very reminiscent of something you would see in the TV show. It's littered throughout the movie. It's quirky enough to work. The human emotions are similar to the drama in the show, and you see elements in the movie of what could have been. It's a shame, really.
And they clearly went into the future just to rip off Spike for Pike. The vampires attack the school but need an invite to get in despite it being a public building, but I guess I can't rip on it for that too much as the show established that rule and not the movie.
Or she could go for what's behind door number 3.
Who are you talking to? The principal is played by Stephen Root, and he isn't in a lot of the film, but when he is hilarious.
Detention, detention, detention.
Now, Whedon originally wanted Buffy to actually burn down the gym to kill all of the vampires, but this was cut out because of money issues, which explains the line from the show.
Wasn't that bad.
You burned down the gym.
Instead, this is what we get. After all this build up for this huge fight, and that's it. This is pathetic. This movie is fucking dog shit. And Pike is a nice guy, so maybe I can ship them. I guess she redeemed herself. Who cares? The movie fucking sucks.
I just don't get him. He and Arquette hate Buffy for half the film, and then suddenly likes her.
The movie isn't god awful. Yeah, it is. It has a couple of funny moments, and it set the law for the show to blow into the stratosphere. It has some performances I like, but the script is bland and makes no sense. The main performance is trash, the supporting performances are annoying, the editing is arse, and the execution is abysmal. I am amazed that my favourite TV show of all time came from this vomit.
At least it's short, but at the same time, I kind of want to see more. There's something about it that I find charming. Now that I think about it, it's structured poorly, like a building that was made on a swamp halfway up and is ready to fall down. But still, there is potential. Maybe if the studio was on board with the original script, and if things went ahead properly, it could have been more interesting. In the show, we get to see the character Buffy bond and spend time with the other characters. We feel the emotional range and connections, but here, we don't see our friends for very long. We don't get anything from them. It's unfair to compare a 90-minute film with a 7-season show, but that's the issue. I don't think 90 minutes is enough time to do what Joss wanted to do. The story is much more complex, and the dynamic between the characters feel lived in. There are a few scenes and moments in the movie that I do really enjoy, and as a fan of the show, would I recommend it? Not really. But if you are looking for something quirky, humorous and cute with a couple of redeeming qualities, give it a try. Just know it isn't that great, and it's filled with a lot of 90s cheese. I feel like it's worth watching once. I like most of the performances besides Sutherland, and some of the shots are nice to look at, but the story and the way the characters interact don't flow together very well. It's all too rushed. The humor sometimes works, but other time not at all. It's harmless. I'm glad we didn't get a sequel, and instead we got the TV show we all know and love.